Do you ever start getting frustrated, bored, or overwhelmed by life and find that you suddenly have the compulsion to ignore whatever else you have going on and direct all your energy into crafting instead as a way to cope? Me too. It's okay. Hi friends. This week, we're DIYing It Girl aesthetic fashion items, baby. Well, actually, I already DIY'd them, sort of scattered throughout the past several weeks, but this week I am sharing them all with you. I have been so inspired lately by so many adorable pieces that I have seen all over TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube, etc. Like charm necklaces, shoes adorned with flowers, that Ganni blouse that lives in my and every other fashion girlie's head rent-free. And then I realized I can DIY these. And honestly, some of them were so unexpectedly easy. I'm so excited to show you how you can make them too. Some were a little more challenging, which I hope is still also fun and inspiring to watch. But for now, let's travel back in time to my first project. One of the easiest and cutest pieces I made. They're all the cutest. I don't know why I said one of the cutest as though they're not all gorgeous, stunning, and perfect. Let's just get into it. Hi, it's day one of Liz's Fashion DIY Bonanza. I am so excited to start with a DIY charm necklace. I had started seeing these and I thought it was like just my Pinterest algorithm, and I was like, oh my god, these are so cute. And then of course, as always happens, I realized it was actually a huge trend and my style is not unique. But I love this look, and I also wondered, where are people getting these? How do you make these? How do you find vintage charms? I have no idea. And I still haven't answered that question. However, I did learn that you can buy a packet of like 100 sort of vintage looking charms for like $12 from Michael's. I'm so excited to use these, and I'm just gonna put them all on a chain I already had, and there's gonna be so many left that I can use them for so many other things. Also, after this, I'm so excited. Let's get started picking out our charms. I do have to note, I did sort of have to sift through this bag of charms, sorting out the ones I wanted from the many 2010s coded options. There were a lot of owls and a lot of anchors in there, but also more than enough that I was into. Honestly, if you have any ideas for more things I could make with the rest of these, please comment them because I have so many. Once I had my charms picked out, it was just a matter of attaching them to the chain links with jump rings using my jewelry pliers. These charms came with jump rings, which I appreciated, and I already had the pliers, but they're super affordable if you want to get your own. Mine were like $7 from the craft store. Also, I just have to say, it is cracking me up how perfectly placed the little branded embroidery is on my shirt sleeve. It looks like it's intentional, but I promise it's not. This is just what I happen to be wearing on this day. Actually, because my Instagram followers chose it. This was filmed during the week I had Instagram choose my outfits for a video, which is linked in the cards if you're interested. Okay, this is where we're at, and I love it. It's like exactly what I had imagined, what I wanted it to be. It was super easy to make. I love that I got to pick out exactly which charms feel like me and my style. I'm very excited about this. The only thing is, I think it just needs a couple more charms on either side. It's a little concentrated in the middle right now. So I'm gonna add those, and then you'll see the finished product in the final reveal. While we're here and we have all our charms out, I thought it might be fun to make one of those necklaces that's like dangling with a bunch of charms all hanging together instead of spread out as well. Because I have this chain. Now this is kind of long. It's more of like a 2010s pendant necklace length, but I found this at my parents' house. And first of all, I think long necklaces are about to make a comeback. But secondly, I can also just double it around and, you know, wear it at a shorter length. So I think I'm gonna add a couple charms to it. For this variation, I did the exact same thing, but instead of attaching the charms to individual chain links, all the jump rings are just attached around this skinnier chain, so they can slide back and forth and they'll all slide and cluster at the center. Honestly, this one I'm a little less sure on how I feel about, so you all will have to let me know what you think when it's revealed at the end. Good morning. It's actually 1 p.m., but another day, time for another craft. It's like 65 degrees outside today, which for me is thrillingly warm. So I am very ready for a spring summer friendly DIY. And I have the perfect, absolutely ancient shoes to do it with. These are old, as you can tell. I wore them to my 8th grade graduation, and they were not new then. Recently, I was trying to decide what to do with these little tiny fabric rosettes that I thrifted a while ago. And then it occurred to me, I can put these on these shoes. So my plan is just to sew these by hand with a needle and thread onto the straps of these shoes, and hopefully it'll be pretty straightforward. In theory, you could glue them and that might actually be better, but I don't want to fuck them up even more if I ever want to take these off. Let's get started.
This DIY was huge on TikTok last spring, and I'm so excited for this look to be weather appropriate again. I hope to see everyone rocking those flower heels they made last year again this spring and summer, and I'm thrilled to be executing my own version. I've mostly seen it with much bigger fake flowers, which I of course also think looks adorable, but this more subdued version actually feels a bit more my style, and I love that I was able to make it happen with old and thrifted materials I already had around. I ended up adding 3 of the little rosettes onto each shoe, which you'll see at the end. I also should note, I do think gluing would be easier, or making or getting some flower clips. That's a great removable option, but this is just what worked for me with what I had around. I also wasn't sure I would love the look, so I wanted to be able to take them off without damaging the shoe if need be, but spoiler, I really don't see myself doing that. I absolutely love these and cannot wait to wear them.
Hello, it's a new day, and it's time for a new craft. This is one I'm honestly not totally sure is like a viral DIY, but it's something I've been seeing all over Pinterest, and that is these cute little clay fridge magnets. Like these, or these, or these. I love them. I have a bunch of polymer clay that I haven't pulled out in quite some time. I've acquired some magnets, and now I'm so excited to make some cute, decorative little items that will be useful in our home and look adorable.
Alright, so I realize this isn't a fashion DIY, but these just turned out so cute. I have to show you. And you could totally use this process to make charms or beads for jewelry, pins or brooches, buttons maybe. There are definitely fashion applications here. For my clay charms, I wanted to paint them all at the end, so I just used white clay, and after mushing it around for several minutes to get it soft and warmed up after not being used for like over a year, I just started flattening out little circles and then cutting out the shapes I wanted, making sure they were all big enough to completely hide a circular magnet behind them. I used a glass jar as my rolling pin and a regular kitchen knife as my carving tool because we're resourceful around here. I also just want you to know I definitely had to redo some of these shapes multiple times. It doesn't always work out perfectly right away, and that's fine. That's just part of the process. Finally, after baking my little shapes and sanding down any rough edges, they were ready to paint the next day. I just used acrylic paints on these, and my vision was for them to look simple but sort of painterly, with different colors and visible brushstrokes to create a sense of dimension and sort of liveliness to them. I don't know if these descriptions are painting a clear picture, but I wanted them to look like someone painted them, you know? I started with a couple layers of solid color as base coats, but then just sort of had fun with it, adding splotches of different lighter or darker colors to bring these little clay pieces to life. Also, apologies if you couldn't tell what all these shapes were, but I did plan them out from the start, so I knew I was making a strawberry, an orange, a star, a fish, a seashell, 2 little houses, and a cowboy boot. There's no theme really at all, just things I thought were cute and fun and had good vibes that I wanted on my fridge. I did also have some very tiny details to add at the end, and I did cut down one of my smallest brushes with scissors to be even smaller and have literally like 3 hairs in it so I could add those tiniest finishing touches. I really should have done that on camera, but you can see them here. I'm very pleased with my tiny details. Finally, I just used some E6000 glue to glue on magnets to the backs of each of these clay charms, and then sprayed them with shellac for a shiny, sealed, protective top coat. I did have to do this in my apartment next to an open window. That's the best ventilation I have, unfortunately. So stay tuned to see if I got poisoned by the fumes, but so far so good.
Hi friends! Today we're doing the final project of DIYing viral it fashion items that I have been lusting after. And this is the final project because I've been putting it off because I'm nervous. It's the most ambitious project and I am not that confident in my skills and my ability to actually do it well. This project is this Ganni top. I always hear people pronounce this Ganni, but I looked it up and I think it's actually Ganni. Anyway, this puff sleeve tie front blouse with a little ruffle, like baby doll, almost peplum style hem. So adorable. It's been living rent free in my brain since it came out like a year ago, more than that. I love it. So today I'm going to try to make my own version. We're using this fabric. This is a thrifted bed sheet. To start, I am going to be tracing the torso part of just a regular button down I have that I like the fit of, and then I'm just going to sort of adjust from there. We can do it. All right, let's get started.
Y'all, I have got to say, I think trying to trace this button up and not doing so very precisely was my first and biggest mistake with this project. Really, what I should have done was simply use a pattern. I have actually never sewn from a pattern in my life because I am intimidated by them. You'd think doing something without any instructions would be more intimidating, but I just like to give myself a ton of margin for error, and my fear with patterns is like I'll do one thing wrong and ruin the whole thing. Does anyone else just like not trust themselves to do things right so they end up making things way harder for themselves instead? Or is this like something I should take up with a therapist? Anyway, the point is, when I self-draft, I can also be a little too loose with the margin for error and end up with something that requires a ton of retroactive editing and just creates way more work for myself, which is, of course, exactly what happened here.
All right, here's where we're at. Next, we're gonna do the ruffle along the bottom because I'm intimidated by the sleeves, so I'm putting them off. Hi friends, it's been a few days and I have been just sort of deconstructing and reconstructing what I have so far for this top over and over, trying to fix little mistakes and alter little things because I just wasn't happy with the fit. It just wasn't working for me. So I've been fiddling with it for a few days and then getting very frustrated and then taking a little break. And now I'm back to fiddle with it a little more. I actually think I should do the sleeves first because I want to have the fit of all of that done before the ruffle, which is less fit related. You get it. We're gonna do the sleeves. We can do this.
I had already cut out the sleeves on the first day, so at this point I had to gather the shoulders, sew the sleeves onto the shirt, and then scrunch the ends as well with some elastic. As you watch that whole process play out, I also just wanted to mention some changes I made to my design versus the original shirt and why. The biggest one is just that I made mine a v-neck instead of the higher neckline, really just because I wanted to be able to wear necklaces with it. I need the ability to accessorize, and I didn't think that would layer very well over a little tie at the top of my shirt. And then, because I did the v-neck, I only needed 2 sets of ties on the front instead of 3, which I also made a little longer and danglier, just because I like the less polished, more undone sort of look. I also made my sleeves slightly shorter for better summer blouse ventilation. And finally, I think I made my ruffled tier a bit rufflier than the original. What can I say? I love the drama. The bigger the ruffle, the better.
Oh my gosh. We've got puff sleeves, baby. I am so proud of these. Did I make the armholes a little too big on the ends near my elbows? Yes, but I'm not even mad because I'm so proud that I made these. The sleeves have honestly turned out to be like the easiest part so far. Now all I have to do is add the little ruffly tier and then add ties and hem everything and we'll be done. Hopefully that's all as easy as it sounded. My first sleeves. I'm so impressed with myself.
So, as you can see, here is the original rectangle that was going to serve as the bottom tier, and then here is the additional yardage I added to just really maximize the ruffle. I was ruffle maxing. I did save the actual attachment for the next day though, so here I am in the daylight with an outfit change, gathering that piece and sewing it on.
I made the ruffle rufflier, and it was the best decision of my life. Look at this. It's so good. I'm so proud of myself. Honestly, the trials and tribulations I have gone through while making this cannot be overstated. So I am just so happy it's working out pretty much exactly how I envisioned. This is so exciting. All that's really left is to add the ties. I already hemmed these edges. This is thrilling. Let's go get this finished.
Here are the ties. Making ties is boring, so abracadabra, they're done. And now here I am just sewing each of them on. A detail I love about this top is that the ties are actually attached on the outside of the shirt rather than the inside, so even when they're just tied in knots, they look like bows. For a long time I thought they were bows, and then I figured it out. You'll see in the reveals.
Hi, it's present day Liz. I'm back. All the projects are finished. There were definitely some ups and downs along the way, and I'm actually so proud of myself for working through them all to make things I'm really happy with. Oh, you want me to stop talking and just show you the projects? Okay, yeah, that's fair. Let's do the final reveals.
First up, we have the finished charm necklace. I love this so much and have already been wearing it, and I love that it's totally customized to me, but it was also so accessible and easy to make. That is so rare in fashion. I guess that's the whole beauty of DIY, but sometimes DIY is still very expensive and or challenging, so I just love that this is a project that doesn't require certain skills or expensive tools or supplies. Plus, it's just so beautiful. It looks so good. I love it. It's so whimsical and charming. I also love that I got to pick all my favorite charms that spoke to me the most. I love the idea of other people doing the same thing, making their own unique version of this project. And like I said, I still have a ton of charms left, so please do leave me some more ideas of what to do with them in the comments. Of course, we also have the clustered charm necklace, and I was uncertain about this one, but after putting it on, I absolutely love this one too. This actually feels even more wearable as an everyday necklace. It kind of has the look of just a simple necklace stack, and I actually wore it all day after filming these clips. I'd love to thrift another shorter chain to make another one of these. Next up, are flower heels. Honestly, I never wore these shoes before. I've had them around for potential styling, but I didn't even really use them in videos. But now, I'm in love. I'm obsessed. They're my muse. I have so many different styling ideas in my head now, and I want to wear these any opportunity I get. They just feel so romantic and kind of whimsical, yet sophisticated at the same time. And yes, I am showing them on my actual feet because I want you to get to see how they look being worn. Shoes look different actually on your feet. But if there's anyone watching with foot fetishist intent, please Venmo me $50 and then never watch my channel again. Thank you very much. Anyway, these make me feel like a chic and beautiful lady who's going on a nice summer dinner date where you can eat on like a glorious patio under fairy lights. Do you see the vision? That's the vision these shoes give me, and hopefully I can make it a reality this spring and summer. Next up, we have our clay magnets, which I am so pleased with. Honestly, I had a little trouble just getting this old clay to work with me at first, but once I got it warmed up, I just had so much fun with these, and they honestly turned out pretty much exactly how I pictured, which definitely does not always happen with DIY projects, but what luck when it does. I got quite into crafting with clay a couple years ago, as many of us did during the big clay earring boom of 2020, but I haven't used it as much recently, so I was so happy to get some more use out of my clay stash and make something new I really love. I also have so many leftover magnets, and these were so fun, so I will probably make more. Feel free to drop clay magnet design ideas in the comments too. Finally, the piece you've all been waiting for, the Ganni inspired blouse. I am so freaking proud of this thing. Is it perfect? No! The ruffle is longer on one side, and the darts on the front are very lopsided, and the hem job is quite rudimentary. But honestly, I just can't believe I made this, and I still think it looks so good. Like, wonky details aside, I think this is a pretty strong recreation of the original, and most things that are different are on purpose. I love the cut, the shape, the poofy sleeves and ruffly tier, and the ties on the front. Every core element I'm happy with. I was also quite worried about the fit with the sleeves being comfortable. That was a big part of what I had to keep adjusting, but I am happy to say the fit is great. The fabric is also really comfy and breathable, and I think this will be the perfect spring-summer blouse.
Thank you so much for coming along on this crafting journey with me. I am so freaking excited to wear these items. Honestly, all three of these together would actually go so hard. Also, I just wanted to say I was so touched by all of your replies to my post about taking the week off last week. Everyone was just so sweet and kind and made me feel so nice. So thank you for that. Anywho, back to the crafts. Please let me know your favorite project in the comments. And if you do leave a comment, watch another video like maybe this previous thrift flip video full of delightful projects similar to these. And subscribe to my channel. I heard next time you mess up on a project, you will not feel bad about yourself. You'll just simply understand it as part of the learning and making process and feel totally at peace. Okay, bye.